And I think a week later, I went to my boss and I said, I am quitting. I'm sorry. And I think I was even crying. I was like emotional about it. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm starting my own business, doing faux finishing and painting and doing murals. And he was like so confused. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And it was just like I had to prove this to
Yeah.
myself. And it was like unfinished business in
Yeah.
my
Plus,
mind.
you knew that desk job was going to take your soul. Welcome back to the Just Build Baby Studio. You're listening to the BuildX Podcast, your ultimate guide to creating exceptional homes, innovative living spaces, and staying informed on all aspects of residential building technologies. I'm your host, Buz Artiano. Today, we're excited to have Christine Monaghan in studio with us. Christine is the owner of Christine Monaghan Architecture and Planning with 27 years of experience in the industry. Christine, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, excited to have you here. So one of the first things I like to do is have you tell our listeners, obviously not, maybe at college. When did you decide that you were going to be in the architectural business?
I was definitely not one of those children who were playing with Legos and thought they were going to be an architect their whole life. I loved painting. I liked creating things and sculpting.
So you
and
were artistic.
Yeah.
And I see that in your designs, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't until later in life when I was going to college that I wanted to go to art school, and it was kind of a tough sell with my parents because it was very expensive, and
Sure.
they were like, well,
Now, did you
what
go locally?
I was looking at a museum school of fine arts, School of Museum of Fine Arts, and Parsons School of Design is where I got accepted. And it was really, really expensive.
Where's that?
In New York.
Okay.
In Manhattan, like New York.
Oh,
heart of New York.
downtown.
Yes,
Downtown.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, my mom was like, so what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I'm going to paint and figure it out. And
Yeah.
she's like, okay. So it was just like, it was a hard sell. So we decided to try out architecture. My father pitched the idea to me. He said,
And does he have a background in that?
No,
Okay.
no. My father owned an auto body shop for over 40 years.
Okay.
Blue collar worker, had his own business.
Yeah.
And so that influenced a lot of things.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
But, it was his idea. I said, well, why don't you become an architect? And I was like, that's just for boys. Like, I don't think girls do architecture. And so I actually went to Massasoit Community College. And
right in Brockton.
Yeah, right in Brockton.
Yeah.
I went for a couple of years, and I just kind of fell in love with it as I was doing it.
Sure.
And it wasn't until later I realized, like, oh, wow, this was really meant to be for me. And I definitely have more of a technical brain than I thought I did.
Okay.
And
interesting. Yeah.
It all just kind of came together.
And so then you left there and went where?
So then I still had this push and pull of the art world. And I'm a little bit of a rebellious person, I have to say. I was like, I'm gonna show my parents that I can be an artist. And I quit my architecture job and started a business painting. And I did.
But take me through the rest of your school. You went 2 years to Massasoit, but then what happened?
Yeah, so then I started working for a couple immediately out of high school. I actually worked for an interior designer.
Okay.
So I've been working in the industry since.
So that's what that influences when you do those design boards. That's where that influence comes from. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The interior designer immediately. And I learned the interior design industry really early on too. So I worked for Duval Design Group in Hingham. And then I was going to Massasoit and working, and after I graduated there, I started working for Jacob Architects in Weymouth and got into healthcare architecture, and was really just drafting. And it was kind of boring for me. I was like, I miss.
Now you were computer drafting though.
Yeah, just AutoCAD, just drafting.
Yeah. 2D.
Yeah, 2D stuff. Really boring.
Yeah.
I was behind a desk a lot. I wasn't talking to people, and I loved talking to people.
Not good for an artist.
No. And so I remember this flyer that came across my desk, and it was someone who was marketing faux finishing in her business. And I was like, I can do that. And I think a week later, I went to my boss and I said, I am quitting. I'm sorry. And I think I was even crying. I was like emotional about it. I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm starting my own business, doing faux finishing and painting and doing murals. And he was like so confused. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And it was just like I had to prove this to
Yeah.
myself. And it was like unfinished business in
Yeah.
my
Plus,
mind.
you knew that desk job was going to take your soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so for 3 years, I started this business. I used to just show up on job sites and give them my business card and say, "Do you need a painter? Anyone to do like full finishing?" And I got a few jobs out of that. Um, and I just made good contacts.
Yeah.
And some of my biggest jobs were just working with contractors.
Yeah.
And so I was up and down scaffolding all the time, painting, dirty.
Yeah.
And I was alone a lot.
Yeah.
And so after a few years of doing that, I moved into Boston, and the market in Boston was a lot harder than the South Shore. It was like they were set in their ways. No one wanted to talk to me.
Oh,
yeah, just to try
business.
to for the painting fine arts kind of business.
Yeah.
I found it really tough. And so I went back to school. I decided, you know what, I miss that collaborative environment of architecture.
Oh, so you had quite a break.
Yeah, I had 3 years of a break
wow.
from architecture and just doing my business.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go back to school.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be collaborating again in an office environment with people and talking to people. I didn't like being dirty all the time.
Yeah.
It was a tough grind, like on your own.
Yeah.
And because you're doing everything. You're
I
doing
tell
the
everybody,
marketing, you're doing the admin.
I tell everybody, you want to be the loneliest person in the world, start your own business.
Yeah, it's true.
Guaranteed.
It's very true. But I always had that kind of entrepreneurial spirit. Like so I went back to school.
And where'd you go back to school?
The Boston Architectural College.
Okay.
And so at the BAC, you had to work and go to school at the same time. And
that was a requirement.
That was a requirement of it.
And you had to work in an architectural firm.
Yes, any kind of design. It could be interior design.
So anything around design.
Right. So and it was around 2008, and that's when there was no work around.
That was tough.
Yeah. So I was lucky that I had been working in the fields for companies before that. And the BAC came up with this idea to launch like a professional practice studio. And so they had people who had experience in architecture be the leaders, be project managers. So I was asked to be a project manager of a team, and we entered a design competition.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it was all these, it was about 5 of us. And so we signed, different tasks, different things to do to enter this design competition. And the design competition was, I want to say inspiration, but it was really a reflection of Hurricane Katrina. And it was put on by the USGBC, United States Green Building Council. And so our task was to design a row house that was similar to like a house that would be represented after Hurricane Katrina. And
so in that marketplace.
Right, in that marketplace. It was so the site was in Louisiana, Broadwin, Louisiana.
Yeah.
And
so
they gave us.
You had to kind of fit that.
Yeah,
area.
You had to fit that vernacular.
Sure.
And so it had to be LEED silver. So it had to be sustainable.
Tough.
They gave us all these parameters. It had to be 7 feet off the ground for an elderly person who was so when you talk about ADUs, like it's weird how these little things
they all come back around, right?
Come back around.
Yeah.
Because I think about that, and so it was 7 feet off the ground for an elderly person, so it needed to be accessible, and it had to come in under $100,000. So I mean, and this was also 2008.
Yeah, but still, that's. How many square feet was it? Do you remember?
It was probably close to 900 square feet.
Okay.
It was
so an early ADU.
Yeah, it was like an early ADU.
Yeah.
Which is just so funny. Like here we are.
And here we are. It is funny.
But yeah, so we had to think about some creative ways to construct the building or the house so that it came in under $100,000. And we use SIP, structural insulated panels.
Yeah.
Long story short, and we had to create an environment where it was like a professional practice. So I was a project manager, we had a lead designer, we had someone looking at sustainability, and I kind of created this environment where everyone had assignments, we would check in.
Wow.
And
it was like a little mini office.
It was
Yeah.
exactly. And so they got the experience as best they could with me at a young age,
Yeah.
of a office environment.
Yeah, I'm sure you did great.
Yeah, thanks. But we ended up entering it and we won first place in the
Awesome.
Northeast region.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. So it's funny how just like everything kind of came full circle, but
So then you won. Then what happened?
so then I guess fast forward to,
So how
again,
long are you at the BAC?
I was at the BAC for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a long haul.
It was a long haul. Yeah.
And you already had 2 years of Massasoit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's a lot of school.
it was a lot of school. Yeah. My husband and I used to like joke that I should have been like a brain surgeon. I would get a lot more money. But yeah, so it's been a long road, but it's been rewarding too at the same time.
Yeah. All right. So 5 years in school,
Mhm.
and then what? You went right out on your own again, or?
So I started working for DeMille Schaefer in Boston. I worked for Knight Bag and Anderson in Boston. I worked for these, kind of mid-sized to larger firms. And then I had kids and I was sick of the commute.
Oh, yeah.
And so my former boss sold his company and then he started working for a local architect in Rockland, Raymond Design and Associates. And he was talking to his partner about me and said, hey, you should hire her. I worked with her for several years. She'd be a good fit here, blah, blah, blah. So eventually that happened. And I worked locally for an architect for Raymond Design Associates. And after a few years, I just kind of had this, voice that kept saying, you would do this differently, or you would, you were meant for something else. And so I again just left. I said, I tapped my boss down and said, it's time. I'm going to start my own company.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. And so I've been now officially on my own for 3 years.
Oh, so when I first met you a little over a year ago, you were still just starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. That's interesting.
Yep.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
So that's a big leap to start over again with kids and everything else. So, and then how did you decide on that location you're in now?
So when I kind of had the idea in my head that I'm leaving now, I started looking. I started talking to some friends, and a friend just texted me and she said, hey, I saw this post in the Duxbury Clipper and they're renting out a space. And I saw the rent and I was like, that's very inexpensive.
Yeah.
I could do that. And I went and I looked at the space and it was just a white box. It was literally one little office with one light in the ceiling. And I said, I'll take it. And
well, I mean, obviously you had a vision when you were standing there, what you were going to make it into.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had a friend who is a contractor who helped me fit everything out.
Nice.
We put some windows in there,
Yeah.
a nice desk, and I've been there since. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think when I first met you, you were in the middle of expanding into the space.
Well, I've been slowly growing out of the office into like the common area.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone.
That's right. Because when I met you, that first time I came to your office, you had just like moved into a new section, if you will.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, so in the summertime, I offer an architecture workshop for students.
Nice.
And we've been using Levitate in Marshfield as like our place of design work. And it's been really tough for the owner, Dan Hassett, to give us space because he just has bands constantly in and out and things are always moving. So I decided to host it in the office, in that tiny little office. So we now have more desks around, and I've completely taken over like the common area. And luckily, everyone's good with it because I kind of update things and I decorate
You make it nicer.
and I make it a little nicer, so no one ever says anything to me. But I'm sure at some point I'll have to grow out of it and find a space. But
all right. So that's interesting. And so when you started back on your own, tell us about that journey. So obviously, you put a name to it, pretty simple, right? Christine Monaghan, architecture and planning. The words of what you do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, I was told to not, I don't know.
No, honestly, for a person of your, skill, if you will, and talent, they're hiring you. So the name is you. It's not ABC Architecture or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's your personal brand. Right?
Right.
So 100% to me makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and I joined a conference at the AIA, and I listened in a lot of like the business.
Sure.
Because I've always been so interested. And I was told, don't use alphabet soup. Don't use ABC Architecture. Like use your name.
Yeah, you get it. Well, I mean, it's not a hard name. If it was a really tough name, it would probably not work, right? So
right. Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
So you start on your own. So tell me where your first clients came from. Let's talk about that journey, right? So now you literally starting from scratch again. New business cards, new phone number, a blank office, no desk, right?
Yeah. It's funny. A friend of mine who is just starting her own business and currently, and I can relate because I asked her. I said, "How's your business going?" And she said, "Well, I have a couple clients that I've basically working for free." And it's funny because when I first started, I did my project for her for free. I said, let me design your kitchen for you. Let me just design it. I want to have it photographed. And it's going to help me with my business just to get started.
Yep.
And so it's funny. It's been 3 years since that's happened. And I'm like, I get it. Sometimes you just need to start.
Yep.
And you offer a little more.
100%.
And then, it will help you in the long run. And then over time, when you gain that credibility, then you can start to slowly,
No one wants to go first.
Right. Yeah.
Right? No one wants to be your first client.
Yeah.
Right. Unless they're getting a deal.
Right.
Right. They know you have the talent, but it's not like you can go to them and say, here's my portfolio. Here's my Google reviews. Here's my satisfied clients.
Yeah.
Right. They're taking a chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you have to give them something.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's interesting. So, obviously this is my third startup. And it's just, I was surprised actually, maybe the hardness of it had been lost to time for me because the last time I started something new was 2007. But I was surprised how long it took to get the flywheel moving this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. I remember about 6 months into it and I'm like, I don't remember it being this hard.
Yeah. 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 I wonder why. Like.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm probably less patient too now.
Yeah. Right.
But it's always fascinating when I look back at that. Part of it is too. I think you forget a lot of that. You're like, you just got to do it. You just put your head down, keep moving. Right. And you've been through that before, so yeah I could see that being kind of a little impatient. So now you've obviously 3 years in business is booming. It sounds like. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me where your clients come from now. Let's switch gears. Like let's talk about what your business is now. Where your clients are coming from, kind of the projects you're working on. You have your own unique style of doing things. I forget what the first process is called for yourself.
I call it architectural design assessment.
Yes.
ADA for short.
Yes, the design assessment. So take me through that. So ring, I call you on the phone and take me through that process.
Yes. So I do offer like a free 15-minute consultation just to see if we're a good fit.
Absolutely.
And
speed dating.
Yeah, speed dating, right. Actually, someone did say that to me once. They said, first you need to start off with this early design assessment because people don't want to marry you on the first date.
Right.
Right. So I thought that was kind of a neat way of looking at it. It's true. You really have to earn trust.
Well, too, you want to make sure the project is something you want to work on.
Right.
Right. It's the same for us when we get a lead. Is it,
Right.
does it make sense? Is it something we're going to be good at? Right. What's the expectations? What's the budget? So there's a bunch of things that both sides have to understand. And it's okay if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's why they make vanilla and chocolate ice cream because, it just is what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So 15 minutes, then what happens?
So 15 minutes of to see if they're a good fit, and if they are, then we'll move into the ADA, Architectural Design Assessment. So it doesn't matter if it's a ADU, a small ADU, or if it's a custom home or renovation. Even on the commercial level, we still follow the same process.
Sure. Yeah, you have to.
You just
that's your
have to
process.
stick to the process.
100%.
So what that is, it's
and then whenever you deviated from, you remember why you shouldn't.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
You're halfway through and you're like,
oh, why did I do that?
Yeah, I shouldn't have skipped that step.
Yeah, that's so true. So we do a high level assessment where and it's an upfront cost. Like this is a lump sum to do this study.
Yep.
And
you base that on that first discussion, what you think it's going to take. The price changes based on the scope, obviously.
Yes, it does. And that's the thing too, is people ask you, they always want to know, how much is this going to cost?
Yeah.
I have potentially a gallery that I might be working on, and I just got an email today.
Like an art gallery?
Art gallery
Nice.
in the South Shore. And she said to me today, the director, can you tell me how much everything's going to cost for design and construction? And I said, we don't even have plans. And I'm thinking, how do I answer this for her, just to give her something? So, but that's always the biggest question.
100%. So for us, is first, will the ADU fit on my land? And then how much?
Right.
And then how long?
Yes. Yeah. How long is very good answer. But I do always leave things up to the contractor to answer.
Yeah,
I cannot answer
No, I understand. But it's a matter of fact, just to, we actually are publishing pricing on our website today.
Oh, good.
For our standard ADU models.
Yeah.
So
that's good. You're the only one who's ever been brave enough to throw out a number to people. When we did that lecture at Keller Williams, I still use that number to this day. I was like, Buz from BuildX told me, and I'm not going to say right now, but he gave us a number, and it was perfectly said, because it's contingent upon your site, right? Because the construction costs for this type of building, and yes, you could have all these bells and whistles, all these extra details and things that you could add to it that make it more money, but just a basic, right, should cost you around this much. But if you put it on this site that's on a hill, or this site has variation, or this site
ledge, or septic, or trees, or
all those things,
water,
could totally change that number.
Yeah, so that's actually what we did with our website. So it's actually going to say ADU complete package starting at, and then it goes on to say all the things it includes, and then it goes on to say, and it doesn't include these things because it's site specific.
Yeah, right. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next tool we'll be rolling out in a couple of weeks, they'll be able to click on a link and finish that pricing themselves.
Oh, that's great.
Based on some rough parameters.
Yeah. That's helpful. Because you get people of all different walks of life.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
And some people, they just can't afford things, right? And so you have to cater to all those people.
100%. And again, I don't, I learned a long time ago, everyone has a budget, whether it's $10 or 10 million. If you say it's 11 million, they're not going to do it because they only have 10 million.
Yeah.
Right. So everyone has a budget, and it is what it is. So you give them that upfront price. It's a fixed price for that ADA.
Right.
And then what is it?
And just to back up.
Yeah.
Some people, again, some people can't afford much. Right.
Yeah.
So I do offer like an hour just consultation that I charge for, and I will look at your property. I will look at your house.
So you come on site.
I'll come on site. I will not come on site unless I'm charging for it. Because I have learned in the past that you get so many tire kickers, and I just don't have the time.
Right.
And so I will offer, an architectural consultation will come out. If they're doing an attached ADU or they want to reconfigure their house, and sometimes they just can't afford an architect in addition to the contractor. And sometimes it's just really basic and they just need someone to like point and say, and then they can work with their contractor to kind of tell them what I told them and work things out. I offer that too. Just because there are the clients out there that just, that's all that they need.
And then later on, they're going to tell someone else saying, call Christine because she helped me out.
Yeah. So, but back to what you're saying, we do the ADA and it's a very high level assessment.
It's pretty detailed though. I've seen it. It's pretty detailed. You shouldn't sell that short. That's pretty detailed. And so you share that with the client and then what happens from there? Let's assume they love your idea, and I'm assuming there's some back and forth about it, and you say you say this, and they say, "Oh, I love that, but can you change this?" And is that what happens?
So this
is that an in-person meeting or only remote?
It can be whatever they're more comfortable with.
Okay.
I do prefer Zoom only because sometimes we'll use our 3D model to zoom around and show them.
But they could come to your office if they wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So it can be remote or in person at your office.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. No, I've actually just recently implemented that for a proposal review, you have to come to my office now.
Okay.
Because same thing. I have my tools, I have my tech, I have my samples, I have everything that I need. And when I'm in the house, I'm limited for what I can do. Yeah. And even if I have my laptop, it's a little bitty screen, and I'm trying to fiddle around. I'm trying to connect to their Wi-Fi, and it's not the same experience that I want them to have.
Yep, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so that's a new, within the last 2 weeks. And clients appreciate that once they get there and they understand what we're going to do. Because those meetings take a couple hours.
Yeah, right. It can. Absolutely. But yeah, so we'll show them the ADA, architectural design assessment, and it will show them several options.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Because usually people, they come to you with a problem.
Sure.
And their problem is, I visually can't put all this together. I just need plans for my addition. And I just can't figure, should we put this over here? Should we put this over there? And they need to see it.
Yeah. What's it going to look like?
Right. And not everyone can understand floor plans.
No. Honestly, as long as I've been doing this, when I look at a floor plan and then I look at it in 3D, I'm like, okay, there's the problem.
Right. Yeah.
Even for myself.
So even at a very early stage, we put everything in 3D.
Yeah. Myself.
So our
I do the
process
same thing.
is we go and scan your house. It's in 3D. So when we get it back, we have an extremely accurate documentation of your house. It scans everything from, your furniture to your light switches. So when we actually go to the next phase.
And then you're working in Revit?
We're working in Revit.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And we work a little bit in SketchUp too, more so because I'm comfortable in it.
Yeah.
Because I'm now the old one. And so I have to use the softwares that I'm comfortable with. But it's funny, Kiana in my office is like, we could do this in Revit. And I'm like, okay. I'm reluctant. But so we give them, high level in 3D, and we give them several options so that they're in the driver's seat. They are making the choices of what they like more, how they function in their own home. And then we give it to a contractor to give us high-level pricing. Because some things might be adding another garage. It might be adding a 3-car garage versus 2-car garage versus all of these things. And they want to know roughly.
Budgets. Yep.
And I will not give them numbers.
No.
Because it's not my
It's
place
not your business.
to do so.
Yeah.
It's not what I do.
No. And whatever you tell, you're going to get yourself in trouble because it's either going to be too high or too low.
Right. So we contact a contractor right away, right in that early design phase, because they might even pick up something that we just didn't even think of. And so,
sure, 100%. Yeah, you're looking at the beauty of it and making it work and all that. And he's like, hey, what about this beam, or what about this pipe, or how am I getting the septic to work?
Right. Yeah. Or you have a well and you need a fire protection system in this house because you're way off of the beaten path, which is a Zufros that we were talking about. So, there are things that, the contractor can provide value, and very, very early on. It's always good to get everybody involved super early, and just collectively get on the same page. So that way we're doing the best that we can for the client. And so from that ADA assessment, they make a choice and they say, okay, Christine, we really like option 3. And so from there, we then move into a schematic design phase, a whole separate contract. And
So
then
that from that, so
Mhm.
so slow down.
Mhm.
So we finished the ADA. We picked option 3. Now I have a separate budget that says this is the rest of what I'm going to do with a detailed scope and a price for the extra work.
Well, so I've always said this in this way to my clients. I cannot give you a total cost for all the
Okay.
design
So we're
work.
going to go to the next step, which is schematic.
It's schematic through construction documents
Okay.
or permit set.
Okay. So
Mhm.
all the way to permit set, and that's a fee.
Correct.
And that's a set fee?
No,
Okay. So now we
it's an
switch to
estimate.
we
Mhm.
switch to hourly now.
Mhm.
Once we go to that, we say we think it's going to range around here,
Mhm.
but this is my hourly rate, and I'm going to bill you every 2 weeks. So what do you do?
Monthly.
Okay, monthly. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, good.
Yeah.
But they have a budget range before they start the
Yeah,
journey.
and I've been doing this for long enough
Yeah,
to
you know what it's going
know
to take. Yeah.
how long it's going to take
Yeah.
us.
And unless they make wholesale changes or go backwards on
Right.
you.
And then we get that all approved in writing, and we make sure that
Yeah, they
we don't go
understand.
beyond the number of hours that we said that we're going to, unless they know about it ahead of time and
Yeah, so
approve
if they
it.
switch, if they halfway through, they say, you know what, we want to go back to option 2. You say, listen, well, you're going to have to eat XYZ hours
Yeah,
because I have to scrap all that and start all over again.
yeah,
And some of that might be budgetary driven because the contractor, when he gets that schematic set, might go back to them and say, listen, you know, I gave you this range. It's now, it's at the high range.
Mhm.
You know, I know I gave you this range, but here's all the reasons why it's now at the high range because all these things that you had Christine do,
right.
right? And they might
Yeah.
say, gee, we can't afford this anymore. We got to go back.
Yeah, to option B.
Yeah, or whatever
Right.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of collaboration
is.
going on with
Mhm.
that client.
Mhm.
And how often are you checking in with them?
Oh my gosh. We are probably over communicators, I'd
Okay.
say. Or I
Well,
consider myself an over communicator.
People like that though.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, we have a running Google Doc that we keep for meeting notes.
So they're shared into that doc,
Yes,
the client,
they're shared into that doc.
and they can make notes as well.
They can, but no one ever does.
Interesting. I have clients that do.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
We use something different, but
okay.
yeah, they do comment.
Okay.
Not
No, I
all,
think
but I would say 10% do.
okay. I haven't yet had
Interesting.
anyone,
Yeah.
make any notes to it. It's more of like a record.
Yeah, history of how you got there.
Yeah, right,
100%, yeah.
And just a reminder, everyone's busy. They forget what they decided or who's doing what next. And I just learned through the years, like, we have to have this.
Oh,
in writing.
100%. You have to have some record of what's going on.
Yeah.
100%.
And then at the very beginning, we have a directory. So if BuildX is our contractor, if we had a civil engineer who's involved,
Surveyor, whatever.
right?
Yeah.
Surveyor, if we have a specialty in there, structural engineer, and the clients, anyone who's involved in the project, we add them to the directory at the very beginning so they can contact them.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now we're working through schematic.
Mhm.
And how long, again, this is a wild question, right? But how long does it take, assuming the client's making, fairly reasonable decisions on your average project, not a huge job, not a small one, but is it 2 to 5 weeks? Is it 10 weeks? Is it 20 weeks to get through that schematic to construction set?
So it's dependent on how complicated it is, but I'll back up. I'll back you up just
All right.
one step.
Beep, beep.
The ADA takes us 2 weeks from
Okay.
when we
So that's pretty
receive-
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then upon that time, and then we get into schematic design. It depends on how big the project is or small.
So when you give me that budgetary guidance for that project, are you going to say this is going to take about this many weeks?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Right.
I do. I'll give them
you're
an
setting
estimate.
those expectations up
Mhm.
front.
Yeah.
And,
And
and obviously a lot's depending on them making decisions.
Right. Right. And they do make decisions pretty quickly. I've been very lucky with my clients that they make their decisions pretty quickly.
Okay. Now, as part of your process, Are you doing selections along the way as well?
Mm-hmm.
So you're helping with roofing and siding and paint and flooring and I mean, what?
So we'll call that out in our plans. We'll say what kind of roof it is, right? What kind of
Are you doing colors as well?
we will once we get to design development. So we may, it depends on the client if they it's funny that is something that is a struggle sometimes, is having them commit to colors on the exterior. We'll usually do renderings and
Yeah.
show them as best we can what color it would be. But it really comes down to the cost.
Sure.
So sometimes we might say, oh, let's do cedar shingle for this whole house. And then they see the cost and then they realize, oh, wow, that we could save a lot if we use another product.
Sure.
So sometimes it will change, but we do present a solution for what we'd like to see there as far as materials and colors.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're through construction
Mhm.
drawings and it's off to permitting. Then what happens once it's under construction? Do you stay involved in the project?
I do. I stay involved in the project. I will check in and during some milestones, well, if there's a foundation.
So you're coming on site.
Mm-hmm. I
So
am.
foundation, frame
Mhm.
complete,
Yes.
mechanicals complete,
Yep.
interior millwork started.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then,
we're also doing interior design, so that's a huge part of the
so
finish.
once we finish construction plans, we switch to interior design, or that's at the same time?
Well, we'll be designing it at the same time as designing the house.
Oh,
So we
okay.
will give them a board of, okay, this is your plumbing, this is your light, these are your lights, and
So you are doing full selections then?
we are doing full selection. So
all right.
we'll give you a plumbing schedule, a light schedule,
Mm-hmm.
very formal. So it makes it so you can give it to your plumber, give it to your electrician.
Yep.
But it's all decorative. So we say, okay, we are going to purchase the decorative lighting and the plumbing. But
When you say we,
my
Christine Monaghan is going to
yes,
procure those
yes,
materials?
or who's ever in my office helping with the
Got it.
project.
Okay. No, I just want people to understand that. So
Yes.
so you're going to get all these things delivered to the job site that then the contractor is going to install.
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm. So there'll be some. So in our drawings, we say that owner provides, aka we're providing.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
That's good to know.
So then they know what to exclude from pricing. But again, it's very it's more of just the decorative things like pendants and
Yeah. Yeah.
and then into furnishings.
Yeah. So you're also handling furnishings as well
Mm-hmm.
and getting those delivered?
Yes.
Okay.
And managing, which is all new to me. It's
So are
definitely
you going right to draperies and everything?
correct.
Oh, wow. Window treatments.
Yep. And in some cases, it depends on the client. And I may just get them connected with a specialist who does window treatments.
Yeah.
It depends on really what style they're going for. And if they're just doing like plantation blinds and we decide that that's what they want to do, then I just connect them with who they need to.
Yeah, it's straightforward.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So
And
then
then-
they're getting a whole package. So
Yeah,
that
no,
the
I- it-
architecture
yes.
and interiors are speaking together
Right.
and they're getting a product out of it.
Yeah, and it's
instead of
gonna-
it kind of, it's like a Mercedes and a BMW coming together. It's
Yeah,
like they're both great cars, but
No, and I've seen the other side of that where there's two competing factions, architecture and interior design, and they're squabbling, if you will,
right,
about what's happening.
right,
And then the client's in the middle,
right,
and then the contractor's in the middle of the middle,
right.
right?
Well, then the contractor gets held up because they're like, okay, what do you want for your faucet? The plumber's coming tomorrow. And then the homeowner's like, oh my gosh, I have to go get it. And I've seen that more than once. And so the idea is that all of these things are spelled out very early on
100%.
so that contractor
yeah,
can come in.
pre-construction,
And,
pre-construction is critical. And
yeah.
having all those things documented, 100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, because even then, something's going to come damaged or back ordered or.
Oh,
whatever.
right. I've been dealing with that right now.
Well, about 5%
Yeah.
of the things that we buy, brand new appliances,
Yeah.
lights, whatever, just don't even work
Yep.
right out of the box.
Mhm.
Brand new, take it out, plug it in, nothing.
Yep. So I'm learning about all that, and it is it's a quick study, let's just say, because it's like you figure it out.
But
And
but that's good for people to understand that it's a full life cycle from that initial consultation to ADA to construction drawings to interior design to following the project along, making sure that the contract is following your vision and the client's vision together.
Yep.
Checking on all those things, consulting as needed. Because, and again, this is not a pick on anyone. When you draw something complicated, it doesn't always work when you get in the field.
Oh, absolutely right.
Right. And so,
or sometimes you might even suggest, hey, that you could save a lot if you did it this way. And, we're all in this together.
Yeah.
It's, we all have our own houses and bills to pay. And we
100%.
realize like, hey, this is a human being where they're spending a lot of money. Let's be reasonable about what we're doing. So there's really no ego with what I do or we do. It's like, what's the best solution for this client? And everybody's different.
yeah, 100%. Yeah. I agree with you, but I wouldn't call it ego, but you have a determination to make sure it comes out right. Right. And so that's different. Right. So, and you're flexible to say, okay, let's talk about this. And at some point, sometimes you say, yeah, that makes sense. And other times you're like, no, we have to do it this way. And here's why.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So let's pivot to my favorite topic, ADUs.
Okay.
So I know you have the one that we're, currently, talking to. So tell me about other ADUs you have in the pipeline or how many calls you're getting. What are you seeing around the ADU world?
Well, I am seeing, my latest is a couple in Duxbury who, their budget is extremely low. And when they told me their budget, I said, I'm sorry, I've never said this before, but I really don't think you can do this project. And I said, and I caution you to hire a contractor who will say they can do it for you at that cost. Because I've also run into some contractors who, they end up saying yes, and then it ends up being way more. And I know 100%. That they didn't have it.
I have that conversation when I have my pre-construction meeting with my clients. Say, listen, this is the number. Here's why we got to the number. This is how we got there. This is why it's going to cost. Here's the variables that we still don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But it's not, because unfortunately, there are contractors, I call it bait and switch.
Yep.
They say at $250,000 and then the game starts.
Yeah.
And let's pretend I'm at 350 my first day there. Right? When this guy's done, he's at 425 and I would have been 375.
Yeah. No, that's why.
And the problem is they're too far in to quit.
Right. Yeah, right. But that's why I love working with you, because you are very transparent and just very matter of fact. This is the way that it is, and that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But
what other? So let's go back to ADU. So are you getting a lot of calls? Are you seeing a lot of interest? Like, tell me about your ADU.
Well, we do a mix of projects.
Sure, I understand.
But
would you say it's an uptick?
Yes, absolutely. I am seeing more interest in it. We do offer a lecture every quarter where you attended our, we
that was
did
fun.
It together, and so we're continuing to do that.
Oh, good.
But it does create an awareness, and we're definitely seeing inquiries, but still some tire kickers too, because they're not really sure what this is all about. They have so many questions.
Yep.
And so you have clients that have a lot of money and they're willing to spend extra, and that's great. But then you have people that are just looking to have an affordable solution to their housing situation.
Yeah.
And that's where I do love those clients, and I empathize with what they're going through. And so this couple that that we may be working with is just looking for an addition ADU to their daughter's home. And again, their budget's very low, but they are talking about even doing some of the work themselves. So I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see. But it's a mix of either a standalone ADU that, in this case that you've seen, is also a pool house.
That's a big one.
Yes.
That's a big ADU / pool house.
Yeah. Well, and the idea is that you can live in it, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's big enough that, and you would need a special permit for this. This is not a
Oh,
typical
100%.
ADU.
There's a lot going on there.
Right.
But, I've had a couple that have been not as big as that. But I've had, by the time you add the 2-car garage and the farmer's porch and the sunroom and, and that big outdoor deck, they get pretty big.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it should be, though. It should be a nice home for people to live in.
I'm hoping that the next time the ADU law state law comes back up, that they increase the square footage to 995.
Or allow a full basement. Because in Duxbury,
the full basement, the full basement thing is town dependent. That's a whole.
I don't understand that.
Well,
what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you why it's the way it is. So if you look at the definition of gross floor area in the law, it says including for your existing structure.
Yeah.
It says your gross floor area calculation, including basements of code compliant height, will count towards your GFA.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a bonus for you. So if you have a 1,200 square foot ranch with a full basement, 6'8" or more from the concrete to the bottom of the floor joist, I now have a 2,100 square foot GFA. Even if it's unfinished.
Right.
I can count that towards my GFA. So now, instead of building a 600 square foot ADU, I can build a 900 square foot ADU as of right.
But you're right.
But here's the flip.
Okay.
When you go to the ADU, you can't have a basement because now that'll count towards your GFA.
Correct.
So now you do a 6'7" crawl space.
Yes, but isn't that unfair? I feel like that's unfair.
You can't. I can tell you from having so many Zoom meetings with clients and so many site visits that the good of that GFA on the existing house far outweighs the penalizing on the basement.
Yeah.
It really does, because there's so many people with 1,400 square foot houses with a full basement that want to build a 2-bedroom, 1-bath ADU for their parents.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to shoehorn that into 700 square feet. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
But now I can count that basement and get them in a 900 square footer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And that's why I'm hoping they go to 995, because most people that want 2 bedrooms, they want a bath and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And you can do it, but it's tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So I'd love to see the 995. Now, some towns are already passing, you can exceed the 900 square feet by special permit.
Yeah.
Cohasset has an ADU-L, they call it, for large, and it actually has no cap in the bylaw. It just says you have to go get a permit.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you could build like a 3,000 square foot ADU if you have a big enough house.
Right. Oh my gosh, that'd be great.
Norwell's 1,300, Plimpton's 1,200. So there's Bourne's 1,500. It's still the same calculation that GFA.
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
So, but that's why the basement, / crawl spaces is so town dependent, and depending on which town you're in is how they look at it.
I think of it as, I can't help but to think of it in a sustainable standpoint. Like if you're already digging in the ground, right? And so you either do all or nothing. You're either going to make livable space in that basement or it's nothing.
Right. Because that's what they don't want you doing. Right. So they don't want you finishing that basement.
Right.
Because now it's 1,700 square foot.
But why? Like if the mentality is density. And creating a dense.
You're preaching to the choir, but
yeah,
I'm telling you,
I've been wanting to talk to every town building inspector and just be like, I want to get your thoughts on this. Like, what do you think?
So their thoughts from the dozen plus that I've spoken to, most don't care.
Yeah.
And they're either saying, I don't do a full basement, or 6'7" crawl space.
Right. That's what I'm getting. Like 6 foot. Well, in Duxbury, it's 6 foot. 6'8".
6'7". You have to be at 6'7" from the floor joist, bottom of the floor joist, to the concrete floor. If you're at 6'8", it's a full basement, and you got to either put an inch of concrete down or do something else.
Okay.
So you got to hit that number.
Yeah.
You probably want, you don't want to be 6'3" and 7 and
right.
You want to be 6'7". So.
Or distract him when he's measuring.
No, that's the first thing they measure. So it's interesting. So there's a huge swing in that basement versus crawl space. Cohasset is 6'7". Many towns are 6'7".
Yeah.
There are some towns that aren't. I think it's It's building inspector, building commissioner dependent.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
The secondary argument to that is, and my argument is, if you have a basement, I'm just calling it a basement, 6'8", and there's no interior stairway, because normally there isn't, because it chews up so much of the square footage, right?
On the inside, yeah.
Yeah, and you just have a bulkhead.
Right.
Is there really danger of them finishing that?
Not really.
Yeah. Now, if it's a full walkout,
right,
that's a different discussion.
Right.
Right. So, it is very town dependent, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it bothered me because you have these families that are downsizing, these parents that are downsizing, and they're, going from maybe a 2,500 square foot to a 900 square foot.
Yep.
And
they're fighting for every inch.
And if this is an affordable solution and sustainable solution, really, because if you think about it, you're building in another home on your property, on your maybe 1 acre lot.
Yep.
Right. And instead of building a new house on this empty lot, it's a sustainable solution, because now you have utilities connected, everything's already there, infrastructure's there.
Yeah, the road's already there, everything's already there.
So, and the other mentality on a sustainable hat, if you were thinking of it, is you don't want to dig, you don't want to disturb the soil as much as possible. But if you're already doing it, why aren't you making that a living space and creating that density that you're trying to achieve by adding a few inches? And that like, I have to find the answer to that. Someday I will.
All right. Well, when I get that, I will call you.
Thank you. Then I can sleep.
So, so that's interesting. Yeah. So we have let's edit that. We have a open house tour, edit that. We have an ADU home tour every weekend. And I will tell you that the traffic, the visitors have been increasing steadily every week.
Oh, wow.
Since we started back in May.
Okay.
And so we've had one every weekend now. Our last one's coming up December 14th for the year.
Okay.
And then we're going to start up on January 10th.
And are these all new places, Buz?
Yeah, we just, as we're under construction, so once we get to plaster,
yep,
we start letting people see it, and then they'll come back 3 or 4 times and see it finished. And then the one in Marshfield will be done for about 2 weekends. So it should be done this weekend, and then one more weekend, and then we turn it over to client.
Nice.
And it's huge for people because they really can't understand 900 square feet until they walk it.
Yeah.
But back to your comment about what am I going to do with my stuff. So you see people come in that have a 2,000 square foot or an 1,800 or 3,000 square foot house. And, it's an older couple or an older person, and they walk in there and you can see them. They're like, I love it. It's awesome. But my couch won't fit. My bed's not going to fit. My bureaus aren't going to fit. I don't have room for my dishes, et cetera. So they really have to adjust their lifestyle. Yeah. Unless they're in a town where you can exceed the 900 square feet, which are not that many towns.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right. Right.
So it's very interesting.
Yeah. And are you experiencing with your ADUs, like making it accessible? Because, we naturally, as by code, you have to be so far from the grade. And
100%. So the first thing I say to any client, even if they're younger, is let's future-proof this the best that we can. Make sure that entrance deck has a roof over it so that we can bring that decking up flush with the door.
Yeah.
So that you only have an inch rollover instead of an 8-inch step up. Make it so that a ramp can be added later on.
Yeah.
All interior doorways are 3 feet if possible. Try to use a lot of pocket doors. Just try to make it as smart as you can.
Yeah.
You can never tell what someone's going to really need.
Right.
Make sure there's lots of blocking in the walls for future grab bars. That's a big one. Make sure the, plumbing fixtures, especially the shower is accessible.
Yep.
I have some clients that are older and they're like, I really want a tub. I'm like, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
That
and what about curbless?
I have one. I'm nervous about the flat to the floor one, but we have a brand that we buy out of New York. It's only about a 5/8 step up. So it's
okay.
Yeah, it's good enough.
It's not zero, but
if someone's in a wheelchair, they're generally going to have someone help them get in there anyways.
Yeah.
So that little 5/8 is not going to, kill pillar rollover. They do make one that tapers down, but no matter what you do, you're going to get a lot of water on the floor.
Yeah, I've heard that. Well, I did like a Schluter demo,
Yeah.
and they talked a lot about the curbless
That's
showers.
that's expensive though, and you've got to cut into
You're
the
right.
floor joists
It's
and
very expensive.
make a linear drain. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
that's
It's
versus
also very trendy right now.
it is, but versus a $3,000 one-piece unit
Mm.
versus a $15,000 or $20,000 beautiful tile. Listen, I'd love to do it. The other thing is sometimes you just don't have the room for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right.
Again, you're still boxed in by that 900 square feet.
I know, which makes small bathrooms.
It does. It does.
Yep.
So that's interesting. So you're seeing the same uptick of interest.
Yeah. With ADUs, yes, I absolutely am.
What other projects do you think are trending right now? Additions?
Pool houses.
Pool houses.
Yes.
Interesting.
Everyone's loving pool houses. I don't know if it's
to live in them too.
Yes, they're making them.
Is an ADU light or what is it?
ADU-esque, I guess you could say. Like I have done 2 now that.
Yeah, I saw that design you showed at the
lecture we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some kind of sleeping quarters in there, so you could have.
So it's not like a full-time ADU. It's
correct. It's
a
not
guest
like a
is coming over, or someone's
Mhm.
for the weekend, someone's coming home,
Right.
auntie's coming to visit, stay in the pool house.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's being kind of trendy, I've been noticing.
And those can get pretty elaborate.
Yeah, I have a client now who's talking about doing a golf simulator in it, and I'm like, okay, so you want me to design you a man cave outside of the house? Got it.
Just call it what it is.
But yeah, that'll be fun. So
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, what else you want to talk about?
I don't know. I mean, has it been an hour?
It has.
Wow.
We don't have to stop.
No. I mean that's good. I think we hit a lot.
All right, we're going into the lightning round.
Oh, all right.
Favorite tool you can't live without, and it can't be Reddit or SketchUp.
Perplexity.
Ooh, what's that?
It's an AI.
Oh.
It's not ChatGPT.
That's coming up, so hold that thought.
Okay.
Industry trends you've noticed, so obviously you talk a lot of pool houses.
Pool houses.
Dream project you'd love to work on.
Oh, okay. Actually, these days it's a restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
You want to do a restaurant?
I want to do a restaurant.
Like a high-end restaurant?
Yeah.
Like a big one, any size one?
I just want to do a fun restaurant.
Okay.
Like that's maybe.
And you have like a design already in your head?
I just think of like the environment, the music, the food, the back house, all of those things. Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's put it out there in the universe. Let's see
Okay.
what happens. So now, how are you using AI within your business? Let's talk about Perplexity.
So we're using a lot of AI in
We
our
are too.
business, and
Yeah.
we're testing a lot of stuff out.
Mhm.
We talked about interior design, and we can take any 2D image and create a 3D model out of it.
Yeah.
So if we have certain pieces of furniture that don't offer a 3D model, we're able to create it.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, and
It's
so we're
fast,
able
too.
to like make your space look exactly the way it should look without it being built yet.
Yeah, it's great.
So we've had a lot of fun with that. We also have had photos taken where there are no people in it, and it looks very like bland.
Yeah.
And we've used AI to like put people in it, put plants and computers, and it makes it look
Like a
warm
space.
and like a real space.
Yeah.
So it's been really good for marketing for us because we're able to take it to the next level and make it feel like it's been used. Because right after a project, people do use it and it looks all messy, and so we're able to kind of use it to take advantage of that. What else have we used? Our meeting notes, we used AI for that. That seems to be pretty standard now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
It's getting better, too. The notes are getting much better.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
Advice you would give your younger self?
Oh, gosh. It's going to be okay.
There you go.
You're going to just don't be too hard on yourself.
That's
it's going to
good
be
advice.
okay. Yeah.
Favorite food and dessert?
Oh, gosh. Favorite food? I grew up in an American Italian family, so I have to say, like, a good old fashioned, like, chicken marsala is something that I like. Um, and dessert, anything chocolate.
Okay. Dark or
Dark
dark chocolate?
with sea salt and caramel.
Ooh, all right. I'm making me hungry. If you could have dinner with anyone alive or dead, who would it be?
If I could have dinner with anyone alive or dead, that's a tough question. There's so many people.
You could say a couple.
I would want to meet, now this is kind of cliche because I'm an architect,
Sure.
but I would want to meet Zaha Hadid. And I saw her lecture, but I would love to talk to her about how she overcame all the obstacles in her life, because she did.
Yep.
So
That's a good one.
yeah.
I like that. All right, final one. If you had $10 million to donate, whom or whom would you donate it to?
$10 million. That's a hard one, Buzz.
It is.
So many charities out there.
I know. There's got to be a couple that are, percolating.
I mean, again, I feel very cliche by answering this one, but it would, I don't want to say employee because she's a 1099, but she helps build schools and in third world countries, and I would donate to her charity to help.
Oh, in other countries,
Yeah.
like Ethiopia or wherever.
Yeah. And I don't know the name of the charity, but I would, just because she's actually shared with me the environments that these kids are in.
Oh, yeah, it's
and
tough.
how dangerous it is for them to get from their town to their school, and then when they get to their school, how bad it is. And so I would donate to her charity.
All right, good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of the BuildX Podcast. Thanks to Christine Monaghan from Christine Monaghan Architecture and Planning for joining us. Please subscribe, like, and share if you've enjoyed it. See you next week. And remember, just build, baby.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
Good job. Thanks, Buzz.
Thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Don't forget your mic or we'll get yelled at.
Oh, that's right.
Now, why did we double mic?
I want to test both of them with the new Adobe AI.
I noticed I touched it a couple times, so
Fine. That's fine. Yeah.
sorry
Let's take
about
a picture
that.
together.
Okay. I'm gonna take one with my thumbs.
You can give it to him. We'll fake it.
Okay.
Where we go? Oh, yeah, I got that too.
John, come over here and take a picture.
Sure.
She wants a picture.
Sure. Need it? Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Cool.
Thank you.
Of course.
Good stuff. Did you have fun?
I had fun. Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
Oh, do you?
That was awesome.
What do you think, John?
I am blown away by this whole setup.
Good. Yeah.
It was okay.
It was great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, this is it's funny. We nailed this on the first try, like literally.
Oh, this whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a couple small lights that we added, but
So I see your green screen. So what?
yeah, sometimes we'll do a little take. Oh, I need to stay here because I emailed you something I want to do.
Right now.
Sometimes we'll do some green. We don't do too much of that. Occasionally we had Erin Bandini, my assistant. We had her kids on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was fun.
my
It's gonna drop pretty soon.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
It was really fun. So they did in front of the green screen, and then Chris cut them in like astronaut or doing this or doing that. So
Oh my
that
God.
was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, my son would love all this. He just created